Hi guys, welcome to Geek Coding Academy. Today we'll see Collection Framework chapter 6.8, that is Iterating Through Collections. Okay, let's see. So in our previous video, we covered all these topics. So if you have not watch these topics, so please go to my channel and watch my previous video prior to this. Now we are under a part B section, and in my very previous video, I talked about on utility classes in the collection framework. Now we'll see how we can able to iterate through collections. Like what are the methods or what are the ways to iterate through collection? Because in collection is a way of we managing our data, right? So we need to iterate through our data in order to do some process. So what are the ways available in Java to iterate through collection? Let's see. First of all, what do you mean by like iterating through collection? Okay. So iterating through collection is nothing but one by one. It's just like a for loop. It's just like a going each element by element in a collection. Okay. There are multiple ways through iterate through collection. Collection means I'm talking about here list, set, map, these implementations. Okay. Each method has its own advantage and disadvantages, like based on the collection type. Okay. For the desired functionality and efficiency concerned to that particular. Suppose if I'm using in a list type of collection data, I could have easily go with a list iterator. I'll talk about what are the types, etc. Like that. So it all depends on what type of collection we are storing, what type of collection we are using. Based on that, we can use the particular way to iterate through those collections. Okay, let's see what are the ways available. So these are the 5 ways we can able to iterate through our collections. One is iterator. This is like an universal, so it can be applied for all um, collection elements. And another one is an enhanced for loop or for each loop. So it is also can be applied to all. And third one is list iterator. It will be applied for list type of collections only. And for each method and streams method. So for each method and streams method was introduced after Java 8. It can also be used, and it is a more efficient. Like how I will talk. Let's see one by one with an example. First through iterator. Okay. The iterator interface provides a universal way to traverse through collections. Okay, which can be used for all type of collection, list, set, map, etc. So it allows sequential access to an element and supports safe removal. Suppose if you are iterating through our collection, we can able to remove some of the elements. It will suppose safe removal of elements during an iteration. Okay. So what are the key methods in an iterator? We have one method called an as next, which means if you call that method, it will return if there is more element, if there is a more element in a collection. So if you call this method as next, so it will true if there is an element, more element or next element available. Otherwise, it will return false. Next is it return the next element in the collection. Okay. Remove method which removes the last element returned by the iterator. So there is an optional operation. Suppose if you do like remove, it will remove that particular last element returned by this iterator. Let's see an example. Okay. So here I created an array list. Okay. Just I'm iterating a list collection type with an iterator here in example. I created an array list and I added these values apple, banana, and cherry. So I need to iterate through this collection. So I use this iterator. So using a reference variable list.iterator, this will, I'm calling this method iterator, list.iterator. It will be providing me this iterator constructor I'm calling up here. So it will give me a iterator type of an object, which is of type string. Using this, I can check using a while loop, iterator dot as next. I already told as next will return true if there is an element, next element available. Why I'm giving this under while loop? Because till the last element I need to iterate. So iterator dot as next. So if there is any next elements available, it will return true. And string of fruit, I just taking in one by one. Iterator dot next element will return the element. Okay, I just capturing that in a string of variable fruit of type string. I'm printing this in a system.out.println. Just doing one printing operation here, but in real time there will be a lot of operations will be done once we iterate. And I'm just want to remove because this iterator is safe removal. It will support. So if fruit dot equal banana, iterator dot remove means that it will remove that item, that element. So after that, when you print the complete list, there will be apple and cherry. The banana will be removed here. Okay. So similarly, this can be used with over set also. Like here, I created a collection of type set, added this apple, banana, and cherry, and I use this same using a reference variable of this collection dot iterator. It will give me an iterator object. So iterator dot as next. If there is an next element available, I'm just printing iterator dot next that element. Iterator dot next will give me an element. Iterator dot as next will tell whether the element is present or not. Okay. Let's see how we can use iterator with a map. So I created a collection called an hash map where I added these key value pairs. You already know like hash map will the format of storing data is in key value. Created these three records. So after that, I need to use an iterator. But here in hash map, first I need to take an entry set. So map dot entry set. I'm calling up here. You can see here map dot entry set. What it will do is it will give me a set view of hash map. Okay, set type of hash map. Hash map is a key value pair. It will convert that in a set format and it will give that entry set method. For that set view, I can apply an iterator. Okay, so that will provide me an iterator object. Rest is same. Iterator dot as next means there is an element or not. If there is an element, I'm just using iterator dot next to fetch that element. Okay, enter. So I'm just printing that here. This entry is of type. If you use get key and get value, I can get both key and value. So okay, which is of type map.entry because here we are applying iterator to map.entry set. The map.entry set is of type map.entry. Okay, for that we are applying in an iterator. Okay, this is how we can use for map. So you can, so guys, we can see that iterator can be used for list, set, and map for all type of collection. And the common methods is as next to check if there is an element or not. To fetch element, we use the next method. And to remove, it's a safe removal operation will be supported by this iterator. To remove, we can call in a remove method. Okay. Let's see a next type of iteration, like next method, how we can able to iterate using an enhance for loop or for each loop. So this enhance for loop, or also called as a for each loop, is a concise and easy way to iterate through collection. It works with any object that implements an iterable interfaces, but such as list, set, map, it can be used for anything. However, we can't able to modify the collection during the iteration with this method. Okay. We, for example, if you want to remove an element, that's not possible using in a for each loop. So this is a syntax where for we need to take one reference variable of the type of um, data which we are going to iterate, and we need to give this colon, and we need to pass this collection here. So it will automatically give element by element, but that is for only a reading purpose, but we can't modify the element there. So let's see in a syntax. Okay. Applying in a for each loop for an array list where I created an array list, added few values, banana, apple, banana, and cherry, and just iterating through in an for loop is just like I'm creating a for loop where I created one variable called fruit, which is of type string, colon, and I'm passing in a collection here list. That's what collection I created, and I'm printing fruit. It will print one by one, but here removal operation or modifying operation we cannot able to do. It will not support. Only getting operation we can do using a for each loop. Similarly, I can apply this for set. Here I created a hash set and I add these values. Similar way, I'm passing in a set up here in the for loop to iterate one by one element. So iterating through over a map. So I created an hash map where I added these values, and the here I already told like map.entry set will provide me in a set view of the map. So which is of type map.entry. So map.entry, which is of type our key as of type string and value is of type integer, and the reference variable is an entry colon, like this is what the reference variable we created, that map.entry. The what collection we need to pass is directly we can't pass the map only here because map is of type data type is a different type. It's a key value pair. We have a method in map that is called an entry set. That means it will give you a set view of map. So that we need to call map.entry set. It will provide a set view of map. For that we can apply this for each loop. Okay, using that using the reference variable, you can call get key and get value to fetch key and value. So guys, we can see like as you can see, like these iterator, we can able to iterate map through for loop. These are like map dot entry set we need to pass, and using this reference variable entry, we can able to access this key and value case. Okay, let's see the third method, that is using in a list iterator, and moreover this is for list only. Okay, the list iterator interface extends iterator only and provides an additional functionality such as the ability to transfer list in both the direction, like forward and backward. Okay, and modifying elements and obtaining index of elements. Like we already saw, like iterator is to iterate through an elements, and there is a modification to individual element is allowed. This list iterator which extends the iterator and also provides an additional functionality. So what are the additional functionalities? We can able to iterate list in both direction, forward and backward. Okay. So what are the key methods in list iterator? Like in iterator, we have a as next, right? Like it will return true if the next element is present or not. Similarly, here we have an as previous, means that will return true if there is an element available when traversing the list in reverse order. Okay. And previous, similarly, how it's a contrary to next. So in next method, it will return the element of a next element. Here in previous, it will return the previous element. Add, so adds a specified element to the current position in the list. Okay. And set means it will replace the element returned by next or previous with a specified element. Okay. Let's see an example. Let's see a syntax so that you'll understand more. So, okay, here I'm using a list iterator for iterating a list. Okay. I created an array list where I added these values apple, banana, and cherry. Okay. So, I created a here list dot the reference variable dot list iterator. It will give me an object list iterator of type list iterator. This list iterator is only for list type of collection. First, I need to do a forward iteration. So I'll give in a while loop. I'll check if there is an element present or not, so that I can use as next list iterator dot as next. So if there is an element, it will run in a while loop. So after that, I'm printing the element using list iterator next. Similarly, for a backward iteration, I can use like while of list iterator dot as previous. So it will iterate the list in a backward direction. So I'm printing in a value here, list iterator dot previous. It will print the previous element present in that list. Okay. So let's see using in a another method, that is for each method. For each method. Okay. This is came after Java 8. It's some of Java 8 features. Let's see how we can able to do this. The for each method was introduced in Java 8 and allows us to iterate over a collection using a lambda expression. So what do you mean by lambda expression, guys? Like I will talk about deeply when I go into Java 8 features. So for time being, you think like lambda expression, like you can instead of writing in a method definition and a method body, method parameters and everything, we can directly write it in a single line. Okay, it's a shorthand of method declaration. So using lambda expression or method references, like this method is a part of iterable interface only, and which means it works with all collection type. So this also works with all collection type. The syntax is using that collection reference variable dot for each. So if you open the lambda expression, similarly, this is a lambda expression where this is in a parameter and this value. We use an arrow mark in a lambda expression and open and closing parenthesis. Here we use the body of a method. So here I get a single element by element. So I'm iterating through in a collection. Okay, let's see a syntax so that you'll understand. So here I'm iterating a list using a for each and lambda. I created a list here, new array list, which is taken care by this reference variable list, where I added the apple, banana, and cherry through these add methods. So I'm iterating using a for each and lambda expression. So what I can do is list dot for each. So it is a Java feature where fruit, like this is a reference variable where it will collect individual by individual element, and arrow mark, this arrow mark, which is called a lambda expression, instead of method declaration, a fully method declaration, we can use it in a one end. Means this for each method, for that we'll have a return one by one value, which will be captured in fruit. And this I'm printing a body here. The body will be represented after this arrow mark. System.out.println and fruit. I'm just printing the what value present there, element by element. Let's see how we can able to iterate a map using an for each. So have an hash map. I created, I inserted these values, apple, banana, and cherry keys along with the particular value 1, 2, 3. I need to iterate. Okay. So for this map dot for each, it will return us two values, key and value directly. And in the method body, I use a lambda expression here, just lambda. And in the method body, key is representing this key value, key variable, and value is represented by this value variable. It's straightforward, guys. So iterating a map and all using this for each method, it's so easy. Directly we can call this for each method, and inside a bracket we can give key and value. First, always it will return key, and after that it will return value. Let's see, the last method of iterating through collection is streams. It is also introduced after Java 8. So streams is a very powerful way to process collections, guys. Trust me, not like other types. Like other types, it's just like a only one purpose. It's a multi-purpose. If you use streams, like I'll talk more about streams when I talk about Java 8 features I already told. Like here, just an overview. Streams provides a powerful way to process collection in a functional style. That means like a functional programming. That means functional means I'll talk that if I talk now, like you'll get confused. So we can use stream method on collection to obtain a stream. Stream means one by one, like stream of data, something like that you can consider. And then we can perform an operation like a filter, map, for each, etc. Let's see the syntax. I'm iterating a list using a streams. I created a list here where I added these values, apple, banana, cherry. List dot stream. I'm calling a method here stream. Okay. After that, for that stream, I'm calling in a for each method. So it will give me an element one by one, which I'm catching here in this variable fruit, where in the method body system.out.println and I added and I'm written the variable fruit. So here I'm not doing any big operations. It's just a syntax for I written a simple program, but it will be used for more complex. I'll talk about more in Java 8 feature. So iterating map using streams, like how we can able to iterate use maps to iterate, sorry, use streams to iterate map. We'll see. I created an hash map where I added these values using an input method. Apple, banana, cherry, 1, 2, 3 is the value, and apple, banana, cherry is the key. Okay. So map that entry set for to use stream, I need to have a set view of map. Okay. So map that entry set, it will give me a set view of map. I mean key value pairs in a set view. After that, I'm streaming that stream. For that, I'm using this for each, where it will provide me an entry. That's an object. Where in the body, I can use this entry dot get value and get key. Okay. So summary, let's see a summary. For iterator, it's universal for all collection. Safe element removal during an iteration. No support for modifying or transversing in reverse. Okay. But for list, we can use a list iterator. Enhance for loop or for each loop. It's simple and concise. Simple way. And no support for element removal or modification during an iteration. List iterator, it only supports for list, but it supports both forward and backward transversal, allows modification during an iteration. It's similar to iterator only, but for list iterator, it extends iterator only, but it has some other features like transversing through forward and backward, and removal obviously like it inherit from iterator. And for each, this is introduced after Java 8, like it's a functional style iteration, but we can't break out the loop because when you do for each method and using a lambda expression to print the values, suppose in middle you need to break something, you can't do it unless some exception handling we need to do. Otherwise, we can't break out the loop. Streams, it's also introduced after Java 8 and later. It's a powerful and functional style program processing. It supports filtering, mapping, more complex operation that I will talk about more in when we went to Java 8 concept. So this all about today, guys, where we saw all 5 types, how we can able to iterate collections. One is iterator that will be for all the collection type. And we saw for each loop that is a simple and concise. And list iterator that is particularly for list. And it has same feature like iterator. And second, other two are from Java 8, after Java 8 features. One is for each loop, another one is streams. So I hope you enjoy this video. If you like this video, please share this video to your friends and colleagues, and please subscribe to my channel. There will be a lot of content coming up. I'll be uploading a lot of programming content. So after Java, I'm going to start a series called Data Structure and Algorithm. Later that we can start with Spring Boot and more advanced concepts. And also I'm planning to start on CI/CD pipelines and everything. It's like a complete one end-to-end software development complete process I need to teach you guys. So please subscribe to my channel. So I hope you guys enjoy the lecture. So I'll meet you guys in my next video. Till then, keep watching, keep learning. Thank you. Bye.